Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to my subscribers. Welcome newcomers. I hope you like what you see, and if so, be part of this journey with us, one big family, by hitting that subscription button. Okay everyone, so we're going to create another pineapple doily. It won't be big. It could be for a small area or even a small little table. It's a round one. So I'm going to use these two just for the fun of it, and I don't have the number to this one because these are all leftover threads when I roll them up into balls. This one's number 30, so it's a multicolored mix with the fuchsia, terracotta, and the Tiffany blue, turquoise, and a light purple. So yeah, there's quite a bit of mixture there, a little bit of light greens. We'll see how that goes. 2.75 hook, a small one to tuck in loose ends, and of course a pair of scissors. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up on the video. It's extremely important. And let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is that slip stitch knot, or not even, if you can't do the magic circle, then 5 chain. Okay, I'm going to do the magic circle, and I'm going to do a 1 chain here just to get me started. Come back in, single and 2 chain. This is my first double crochet, my second, until I have 16. Counting from the single and 2 chain, that's my first double crochet. I'll meet you at the end of my 16th double crochet. I've done my 16 double crochet. I'm going to come in my second chain and close with a slip stitch. I'm going to come back in and create my first double crochet again with a single and 2 chain. In this row 2, I'm going to do 2 double crochet per stitch on each space. So we should have 32 double crochets at the end of this row 2. I'll meet you at the end. I've closed in with slip stitch. I'm coming back in and doing my first double crochet again on this row 3, single and 2 chain, coming back in, doing another double crochet. In the next space I'm doing 1 alone, next space 2 together, next space 1 alone. So we're going to proceed this way all the way around on this row 3. 2 together, 1 alone, 2 together, 1 alone, 2 together. I'll meet you at the end. Okay everyone, going into row 4 will be exactly a repeat of row 3. So I'm going up with single 2 chain after my slip stitch, coming back in, doing another double crochet. In the next space, 1 alone. In the next space, 2 together. Next space, 1 alone. So it's just a repeat of row 3. Next space, 2 together. So I'll meet you at the end of row 4. 2 together, 1 alone, 2 together, 1 alone, 2 together, 1 alone. Okay, finish row 4, going into row 5. So this row 5, I'm going to come back in, and I'm going to do a single and 1, 2, 3, 4 chain this time. Single and 2 chain for a double crochet and 1 for space. So I'm going to skip a space, coming into the next one. We're going to create little blocks. So 1 chain space, skip a space, and to the next one. 1 chain, skip a space, and to the next one. So very simple. Skip a space and to the next one. Creating these little blocks all the way around. I'll meet you at the end. Okay everyone, so finish row 5, going into row 6. I'm going to come inside of that space, single 2 chain. This is my first double crochet. We're going to do groups of 2 double crochet on each little blocks, 1 chain space. Now the trick to it is, if your tension is too tight, you can do a 2 chain space in between them. Okay, each time that you're creating any pattern for that matter, either you go with a size of hook bigger or 2 sizes bigger than your normal, and create your chain spaces, extra chain spaces. So we're going to create these groups all the way around. I'll meet you at the end of row 6. Okay, everyone, finish row 6, going into row 7. So I'm going to do the walk with a slip stitch. I call it the walk, into the center, that little square, and create these groups again. Single, 2 chain. So this row 7, we are repeating row 6. 2 double crochet per little square here, little space of 1 chain, and 1 chain space between them. So just repeating row 6 on this row 7. 2 double crochet, 1 chain space. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so I just finished row 7, going into row 8. We're going to start to create shells of 2 double crochet, 2 chain, and 2 double crochet. So we're going to do the walk into the center, single, 2 chain, another double crochet, 2 chain, and 2 more double crochet in the same space. So we have our first shell, 1 chain space. If your tension's too tight, you can do a 2 chain space. I'm going to skip a block and I'm coming into the next. Creating shells. This whole row 8 is only creating shells. 1 chain, skip a block into the next one. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end of my row 8. Shell, 2 double crochet, 2 chain, 2 double crochet, 1 chain space, skip a space, into the next. Repeat everything. Okay, everyone, so I finished row 8. Now here's the thing. I'm going to create the small doily, but if you want it to be a bigger centerpiece or even a tablecloth, this is where you keep increasing on these shells. So I'm going to repeat the same thing as we just finished doing on row 8 into row 9. That means a shell, 1 chain space. If you find that it's too tight, you can do a 2 chain space. You can go as long as you'd like on this centerpiece or tablecloth as you wish. This is where you can add, increase to get your pattern bigger, and also using thicker yarn or thread, whatever the case may be, and bigger hook also. Okay, so shell, 1 chain space, and another shell. But like I said, if you find that your tension is tight and it's pulling on your pattern, then do a 2 chain space between your shells. Okay, now I'm going to do about I believe 4 rows of shells, but like I said, you can go as big as you'd like. But anyway, I'll meet you at the end of row 9. Okay, everyone, going into row 10. So I did a slip stitch, walked into the middle shell. This time this row will have 3 double crochets on these shells, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochets. Now, like I said, if you want to increase, that means that you would do, let's say, 2 rows. I'm going to do a 2 chain now. So 2 rows of 2 chain. Next row you do 2 rows of 3 chain. Next row 2 rows of 4 chain, and so on. Okay, so that's how you would grow your pattern to go bigger. So we're doing 3 double crochets, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochets, all in the same space. 2 chain space between them. Okay, I'll meet you at the end of the row. Okay, everyone, so I finished row 10, going to row 11. Again, we're going to do the shell with 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 double crochet. So I've closed in with the slip stitch, did the walk, single, 2 chain, my first double crochet, and continued with 2 more double crochet. Now we're going to do chain 3. Next row will be the start foundation of the pineapples, but like I said, you can go bigger. Again, 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 double crochet in the same space, and 3 chain space between them. I'll meet you at the end. Okay everyone, so I'm going into row 12. I'm going to use this terracotta khaki light brown because it's got the same color in here, and I want that root of the pineapple to be darker. So I'm going to come in that first, any of the shells for that matter. We're going to create the foundation of the shell, single 2 chain. This is my first double crochet. I'm going to create inside of here 9 more, so I'll have a total of 10 double crochets. We'll have one shell with 10 double crochets and one shell with a normal shell. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 1, 2, 3 chain, coming into the next shell with a normal 3 double crochet shell, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochet. So the next shell, chain 3, will be the 10 double crochets. So we're going to alternate one shell with 10 and one normal shell, 3 chain space between them. Okay, so we'll do the 10, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Next shell will be the normal shell. I'll meet you at the end. Okay everyone, so finish row 12, going into row 13. I'm going to go up 3 chain for my first double crochet into the next space, and you have to be careful because sometimes it's hidden behind that single and 2 chain. Another double crochet. We're going to build groups of 2 double crochet, 1 chain space. Next space, double crochet, next space, double crochet, 1 chain space, next space, double crochet, next space, double crochet. So we're building groups of 2, 1 chain space between them, between the groups. You should have 5 groups altogether of 2 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 3. We're going to build a normal shell of 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochet. And then again chain 3 and continue to build your 5 groups of 2 double crochet and 1 chain space. 1, 2, 3, come in your first double crochet with your double crochet, next space, double crochet, 1 chain, next space, double crochet, next space, double crochet. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end of this row 12. Okay you guys, so we finished doing row 13. I think I had called it wrong on the other row. I think I had said row 12 on this 13. So going to row 14, I'm going to go up chain 3, next stitch we're going to do double crochet. Inside of the chain space we're going to do 2 double crochets. Next stitch, 1 double crochet per stitch. In the 1 chain space, 2 double crochets. 1 per stitch, and 2 inside of the 1 chain space. When we get to the shell, we're doing normal shell the same way. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Chain 3, continue to create your normal shell of 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochet. Chain 3 again, and continue to do exactly what we just did. 1 per stitch, double crochet, 2 inside of the chain space. We'll have a total of 18 double crochets. So I'll meet you at the end. Okay everyone, so we finished row 13, going to row 14. This row 14 will be a repeat of double crochet over double crochet. The only thing is we're going to have to do an increase of 1, increase of 2 together in the same space so we can balance out this pineapples. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. On my 9th double crochet, I'm going to increase another one in there, so 2 together. That's the only time I'm going to do that increase, and then continue again, 1 per space. So you'll have 9 double crochets here after your increase on the 9th double crochet. Chain 3, and the shell stays the same. We're going to change it up on the next one. We're going to start building the pineapples, and on this shell we'll have 3 groups of 3 double crochet instead of the normal shell. That's on the next row 15. 3 chain, and continue again to do 1 per space, and on your 9th double crochet we're going to add the increase of 2 together. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. On my 9th I'm going to add 1 more on the same space, like that. Okay, and then 1 per space. I'll meet you at the end of this row, and I believe I'm changing colors and going into that multicolored one to start my pineapples, okay? Okay, you guys, going into row 16. I also would like to mention, I should have mentioned it before when we did the 10 double crochets here for the pineapple. If you want your pineapples to be bigger, then you would have had to add more than 10, whatever size you would like it to be. 12, 13, 14, depending on whatever you want it. So I'm coming in with that multicolored fuchsia, purple, terracotta, you name it. Okay, so I'm going to start here on the shell. We're going to create 3 groups of 3 double crochet. Oops. So single 2 chain. I was doing 3 chain, not a good thing. So 3 double crochet, 2 chain, 3 more double crochet, trying to hide my thread as I go. 2 chain space, and 3 more double crochet. We need to start closing up the design of the pineapple. So this one's going to go this way and this one's going to go this way. Now this is not the 3-chain pineapple. As you some of you that follow me know that I've been creating pineapples with incomplete double crochet, 3 incomplete double crochet. So chain 3, I'm coming into the first double crochet and I'm not closing it yet. I'm going to do 3 incomplete double crochet, and now I'm going to close it. 2 chain space. I'm going to skip a double crochet and I'm coming into the next one, and again 3 incomplete double crochet, 2 chain space, skip a space into the next one, 3 incomplete double crochet, 2 chain, skip a space into the next one. So this is how the pineapples will be created. Always skipping 1 space and doing 3 incomplete double crochet, and then close it all together. I'm arriving on my last one. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the next row we are going to start to decrease on the pineapples, coming in where we did the 2 chain. Chain 3, and continue again with your groups of 3 double crochet, 2 chain, 3 more double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 more. So this is how this row is going to be all the way around the same way. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so we finished row 16, going into row 17. So I've closed in with slip stitch, did a walk with the slip stitch into the center, single 2 chain, created my shell. I'm going to do 1 chain space and create my second shell. So very simple. Two chain, of course, on the shells, and 1 in between the shells. So shell, 1 chain, shell, chain 3, and coming directly into the 2 chain space, and continue with the incomplete 3 incomplete double crochets, chain 2 into the next one, and again 3 incomplete double crochets, chain 2. So we started off with 10 groups. Now we should have 9 on this row of the pineapples, and we're just going to repeat this all the way around. So even if it pleats up, if you find that it's pleating like this a bit, don't worry about it, because as you go it's going to start pulling in. So it's going to be straight after, it's going to pull in the pineapples on both sides. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so finished row 17, going into row 18. So I've closed in with slip stitch, did a walk with a single 2 chain, created my shell with the 3 double crochet, 2 chain space. Now in here we're going to go directly into that 1 chain space we have, and we're going to do a V. So double crochet, 1, 2 chain, come back in, and another double crochet. It's going to be like this all the way around. The pineapples, they stay the same, so there's no other change in this row. The only thing is on here, on the shells, and 3 chain, continue the same thing, the decrease on the pineapples with the 3 incomplete double crochet, 2 chain space, So we started with 10, 9, you should have 8. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, finish row 18, going to row 19. So I've closed in with slip stitch, did the walk with the slip stitch, single 2 chain, created my shell. Inside of this V, we're going to create another shell of 3 double crochets. So that's the only difference here on this row. 2 chain space between the 3 double crochets. So another shell, and then again your normal shell. Okay, so as you can see, I noticed that I forgot to do a double crochet, and sometimes that's good because it teaches you how to create that third one we missed without taking it down. So I'm missing 1 double crochet here. I'm going to turn twice on my hook, and I'm going to come directly down here, and I'm going to do my double crochet. I'm going to come in the center where I was doing my shell, and now I have my double crochet there. So there's no need to take it down, right? Little tricks like that. So sometimes it's good that I do forget. There's always new people that come in, and I'm sure they'll appreciate for learning that technique without taking it down. Okay, so this is how it's going to be on this row. I'll meet you at the end of this row. Okay, everyone, finish row 19, going to row 20. So I've done my shell already. So I've closed in row 19, slip stitch, walked with a slip stitch, did a single 2 chain, 3 double crochet, 2 chain, 3 double crochet, and we're going to do 2 chain and 3 more double crochet on this row on the shells. No chain space, come directly and create your 3 groups of 3 double crochet again, and on the next shell also 3 double crochet, 2 chain, 3 more double crochet, 2 chain, 3 more double crochet. So we'll have 3 groups on the shells, all 3 shells, 3 here, 3 in the center, and the last one, no chain space. Chain 3 and continue with your incomplete 3 double crochets for the pineapples. 2 chain space, so this is how we're going to proceed on this row. Okay, I'll meet you at the end of the row. Okay, everyone, so finish row 20, going to row 21. I've started my shell as usual, and we are going to do we're going directly into the next where we have the 3 groups there and create shells. So this row is all about shells. Whoops, I jumped, sorry, should not jump. We have to go into the next space here. Okay, no chain space in between. And create shell again. Like that. Coming directly into the next where we have the 3 groups. It's all shells. So you're doing shells on all of the 2 chain space. Shells of 3 double crochet, 2 chain and 3 double crochet. Again, going into the next one, create shell again. So I'm going to do shell, 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 and I'll come back to you. Okay, so I've done all my shells. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shells. Okay, now I'm going to do 1 chain space. Some of you that have a very tight stitch can do a 2 chain space. I want my pineapples to start closing in more firm, because this is not the 3 chain normal pineapple. When it's the 3 chain normal pineapple, they close up faster because there's a bit of space, you know, of the width with the double crochets. They close up but not as close as the 3 chain. So I'm going to do the 2 chain just the same in between. So you can do a 2 chain if you're extremely tight, and for the people that are loose, do a 1 chain to get your pineapples to close in. I'm a tight crocheter, but there is certain stitches that I do that I loosen it up a little bit more. So depending upon my stitch sometimes. So I'm going directly just with 1 chain instead of 2. And on the pineapples, we continue to do the 2 chain space. We don't want it to have our pattern crumple up either. 1 chain at the beginning and 1 chain at the end. So, but for some of you, like I said, you can do a 2 chain, and then the next row you can do a 1 chain, so it can cut down slowly. Okay. And if your pattern is fine and it's nice and straight, for some of the tight crocheters, if it's nice and straight like this, then you can continue to do your 3 chain just the same. Okay, so now it's just creating those 6 groups of shells, and I'm doing 1 chain at the beginning, 1 chain at the end, and 2 in between the pineapples. So I'll meet you at the end of this row 21. Okay, everyone, so I finished row 21, going to row 22. I started my shell. Now, if you feel that you need to do a 1 chain space to go into the next shell or creating shell, then go ahead, because it changes nothing on the pattern. If you can get away without doing it like myself, then we're going just straight and doing shell over shell. That's all there is to this row here, is shell over shell. But if you have to do 1 chain space in between shells, you can go ahead and do that chain space, okay? So very simple with this row, nothing to it, it's just repeating the row, shell over shell. And then, of course, doing 1 chain. For some of you, maybe 2 chain. I don't know, depending upon your tension. I'm going to do 1 chain only for my pineapples. So you should know if your tension is tight or loose. Not everybody's tension is the same. Some can get away with it and some can't. Okay. I'm going to do only 1 chain for the pineapples. So of course I'm going fast here because it's just shell over shell. There's no point of slowing down when you know it's just shell over shell, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shells. Again, I'm doing 1 chain and I'm coming in doing my incomplete 3 double crochet. And of course you've noticed that I'm using the turquoise to finish off my pattern. Chain 2, nothing else is different, everything stays the same. We're just doing the incomplete 3 double crochet and shell over shell, 1 chain space in between the first and the last pineapple, and then just proceed again with shell over shell. We're almost finished. So on this row you should have 1, 2, 3, 4 groups for the pineapples. Okay, you guys, so I've given myself a head start. We're on row 23. So basically you would be coming and do your shell like we've been doing. I'm going to do a 2 chain. I'm going to come in the next shell and do a V, 2 chain, come back in, double crochet. So I have my first V. We're going to do V's. I'm only doing shell at the beginning and the very last one. 2 chain space in between, create your double crochet, 2 chain, back in with double crochet. So I have my second V. So it's going to be like this. Double shell at the beginning, 1, 2, 3, 4 V's and a shell at the end. 1 chain and continue the pineapple. So very simple. Chain 2 into the next one, double crochet, 2 chain. If your tension's tight, you can do a 3 chain, okay? Chain 2. And I'm trying to loosen mine just to avoid doing that 3 chain. Chain 2, and then the last one we're doing the normal shell with the 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochet. One chain space, come back in and do your pineapples. 2 chain. So we're down to the last 2 pineapples. One chain, and I'm going to close it in. Okay, so we are on row 24, and I've decided to use the white and blue mix just to break up a little bit of the colors. 1 chain, coming in where we have the V. We're doing only shells now again on this row. So 3 double crochet, 2 chain, 3 more double crochet, 1 chain space in between shells, and continue on with the shells. So I've done all my 6 shells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like we used to have before. I just broke them up with the V's here just to give it a nice little design. And then the rest is the same. 1 chain and continue to do your incomplete 3 double crochet, 2 chain space, and in the next one. So now we have 2 groups of the pineapple. We're almost done. 1 chain and continue to do your shells of 3 double crochet. So we're almost there. Takes a bit of patience because there's a lot of stitching on this, but the pattern speaks for itself, right? Okay, you guys, so we are onto row 25. I've given myself a head start. So after you complete, there was one group left. You do your normal shell. With your one chain space. I'm going to do one chain space here, but if you feel that you need to do two chain space, go ahead. I'm going to do the group of 2 double crochet, the shell of 2 double crochets only. One chain and 2 double crochet. So my normal shell of 3 double crochet is only at the beginning and at the end. I'm cutting my thread after this. One chain space and 2 double crochets. Like I said, if your tension's tight and if you need to do a 2 chain space, go ahead. And on the last one, you do your 3 double crochets for this shell. So at the beginning and at the end. So basically it's side by side at the pineapples. Here and here. One chain and complete my last group for the pineapples. Okay. Okay, everyone, going into row 26, which I've given myself a head start. So basically, we'll be having the normal shell here, here, and then directly into the next shell, no chain space. Now, after you create your normal shell, obviously, if you're doing the way we've been doing at the beginning, so you're going to end up over here, normal shell, one chain here, and I'm going to do 5 double crochets, space of one chain between them. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So one chain between them, one chain space into the next one, and doing the 5 double crochets again, and all of the shells except for the end. Coming to the end, you'll have the normal shell and then directly into the next space. I'm cutting my thread after this, and I believe I'm going to see, it should be the last row I'm going to come up with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, I create these things as I go, so when I feel that it's good enough, that's when I pretty much done with the pattern with the rows. I made a mistake here. So it's 5 double crochets. I don't know what I was thinking. That's when I'm talking, I get distracted. Okay, so 5 double crochets, one chain space all the way until you get here, and then you do the normal shell, go directly into the next one, as we have here. So I have all the groups, 5 double crochets, 1 chain space, and on my last one, normal shell directly into the next one and normal shell. Okay, you guys, so giving myself a head start. Change color, this is the last row. So you can start pretty much anywhere you'd like. I'm doing on the normal shells here, I'm doing a single crochet, and inside per stitch, inside of the 2 chain, I'm doing 2 singles and then 1 per stitch. You can start anywhere, like I said, okay? In the center here where we have that one group, I'm going to do single 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chain, and I'm closing in with a single on my first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chain, coming back in the same first one here. Okay, I want it really closed up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and again on the first one, again on the same space. And then I'm coming into the stitches with singles, and again into the center here where we have the normal shell, 2 singles and 1 per stitch. Now the only time it's a 5 chain and a 7 chain is only on the edges here. Okay, these ones here are 3 chain and 5 chain. Okay, so we don't do on the normal shells because we wanted to center that one. I'm coming in between the stitch here, 1 chain, and coming directly where we have the 5 double crochets and 1 chain space. So I'm coming in my first space and into my second with single. Now I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 chain. Come in, close it with a single, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 chain. I'm still going to come in that first stitch and close it in that same stitch. 1, 2, 3 chain. So all of the other ones are 3 chain, 5 chain, and then directly into the next space with single and single again. I'm going to come in the center here of my, between the chains, and with a single. Didn't grab my thread properly here. So we have 1 chain space, single, and then directly into the first space of the 5 double crochets, single, and on my second one, single, 1, 2, 3 chain. So we're just repeating it now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chain. And if you don't want to do it this way, you can just do singles all the way around, or picot, 1 picot. 1, 2, 3 chain into the first one again, and coming directly on my next space, single and single into the center of my 1 chain, and again. So it's just a repeat now. So the only time there's a 5 chain, 7 chain is in the edge of the pineapples, okay? Everywhere else here, as you can see, I have singles on my, per each stitch, and 2 in the center, okay? Exactly as we have here. Everywhere else on these 5 double crochets is 3 double crochet, 3 chain, single, 3 chain, 5 chain, 3 chain, then single, single, 1 in the center, 1 chain, and continue on. So we do it on the second space. So I've done my first and my second. So now I'm going to do my 1, 2, 3 chain, come in the first one, close it, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This centerpiece is bigger. It's not even a small doily anymore. It's big. And 3 chain again. I thought it would be smaller, but I guess not. 1, 2. Into the center. and repeat everything again. On your second space, create 1, 2, 3 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. One, two, three, always into the first one so we can close it properly. And then next space, single, single. We're reaching the normal shell, so single. Coming on the first one, single. So it's just singles, and on the center of the normal shell, we're doing 2 singles. Single. And then 1 per space. And on the center here of our pineapple, I'm coming in with a single 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chain. I want it to be bigger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And come into the first one, and then 5 chain again. Then go directly into the first double crochet from the shell, just continue, then 2 in the center of the 2 chain, 1 per space, all singles, and then again repeat 1 in the center of that 1 chain. Continue on your design there. Well, this thing is getting big. I will leave the measurements below in the description box and all the details to the threads, how much threads and so on. So I want to thank every single one of you for being part of this journey with me. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so, and I will see you on the next tutorial. Thank you so much, everyone. God bless. Bye-bye.